Russell has let me use the shop today. We're gonna be working on something. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my absence again. I actually landed a pretty good gig in town, doing a bunch of storage building clean out work. One of the construction guys in town put in a bid for cleaning them out, remodeling them, stuff like that. He needed some extra hand, and I told him I'm always willing to help out if he needs it. So he hit me up, and the last 4 or 5 weeks straight, we've been just cleaning out storage buildings, hauling off the trash and remodeling them, fixing doors, insulation. Yeah, one of the units, there's 2 separate storage buildings. One of them, they put drywall partitions between all the units. So somebody broke into one unit and then just punched holes through every unit and just stole everybody's stuff. It's kind of sad stuff, really, but so we had to go through there, clean all those out, tear all the drywall out, then go get metal, come back, cut the metal. This is the first week I've had off in probably 4 weeks at least. And the whole time I was working on those storage buildings, I was just thinking about, what do I need to do? What is it, something that I can do productive for myself? So my old 66 Chevy, some of you guys probably have never even seen it. I haven't driven it in probably 4 or 5 years. It basically looks like Lindsay's truck though, it's just white. But here is all the steering and suspension components from it. I have brought it over to Judy's shop and where the sandblaster is, and we're gonna sandblast some of this stuff so we can get it powder coated. That's what I'm gonna be working on. I want to give you guys another update about my shop. I know this is just a bunch of talking, but you guys have been very curious. Seems like every time we get rock and rolling on the shop build, then it just kind of deteriorates into nothing. I also get excited about it and then nothing happens. So it's not just me leading you guys on. I'm very sorry about that. But so here's the situation. We got all the posts up and we need like 5 more 2x10s. Or 2x12s really, but we're gonna use 2x10s. There's a guy that told me he would mill all the wood for me. So I've been telling him, yeah man, I'm gonna get with you soon and get that wood. I'm gonna get with you soon and get that wood. Well, then I got to the point where I actually needed the wood. Well, it just so happens it's the busiest time of the year. He's got a couple 100 acres of land that he's got to cut hay and brush hog and bale and load, and it's just a busy time of year for everybody. I really can't blame him. I waited until the busiest time of the year to ask him for help. So he told me to give him 2 weeks. That was about 6 or 7 weeks ago. I saw him at the gas station the other day. He said, I'm sorry, I haven't forgot about you. I'm just busy, and I should be able to get it in a couple weeks. It's been a couple weeks, so honestly, I'm expecting to hear from him any day now. And sometimes you just gotta wait, you know. I could go to the hardware store and buy all the 2x10s, but to be honest, I just really can't afford it. And it helps him and it helps me if I get it from him. So unfortunately, I have to wait a little while. Luckily, I'm blessed to have really good friends that let me use their shops. So I can, I'm still able to do stuff, but I'm super ready to have my shop and start stocking it up. I've got so much stuff planned to put in the shop, and yeah, it's just been, yeah, it hasn't been good. I know this is a lot of talking, but I just wanted to kind of fill you guys in. I haven't made a video in probably 4 or 5 weeks now. And yeah, so since I'm already talking, if you guys have made it this far, let me tell you about the backhoe. So my original intention was to buy the backhoe, do all the work I need with it, and then sell the backhoe once I was done with it. And then I wouldn't technically ever have to pay money for it. You know, I could sell it for as much as I paid for it. That's the good thing about equipment. Well, I didn't get the work done that I needed in time to sell it to Russell. Russell kind of gave up waiting on me, and he went and bought a backhoe himself, which, good for him. But now I've got a backhoe that needs to be sold, and I'm still not done with it. The reason I wanted to sell it to Russell is because he lives right down the road, and I know he would still let me use it if I ever needed it. But I hate borrowing people's stuff, and it, you know, you break it whenever you borrow people's stuff, and now you're the bad guy and blah blah blah. So good news, we're keeping the backhoe. This job that I did paid me pretty well, and we're gonna put all the money towards the backhoe. It's just too useful to get rid of. I can't imagine not having it. And like I said, if I sold it to Russell, which I was gonna give him a real good deal on it, but I would still be able to use it, you know. And now that that's no longer an option, I can't live without it. So we're keeping the backhoe. I know a lot of you guys will be very happy to hear that. I'm not even gonna mention when we're gonna get back to dirt work over there. That kind of came at a standstill too. I need to fix a bunch of the dirt for the shop and stuff. It's been real sopping wet for a long time. It's dry now, I could get over there, but there's really no reason. So anyways, I'm gonna get to sandblasting this. I'm sorry again for my absence. This time it was at least a paid absence. So I want to say a special thank you to my members, because a bunch of you guys have been supporting me for a long time, and though it's just a couple dollars a month, if I don't make a video for a whole month, I genuinely feel like I stole your money, and I apologize. And honestly, if any members need to drop my channel, I understand completely. I promise that I love doing this YouTube stuff, but it's unfortunately it's the easiest thing for me to put to the side whenever I get overwhelmed. It takes a lot of time and energy to do this YouTube stuff, and I wish I did do it full time, but for now I can't. And whenever I get overwhelmed, it's easy to put to the side. So I love you guys. I'm sorry. Thank you to all my members, and thank to all you guys for sticking around for all these years. But I'm actually gonna quit talking now and start working on this. Here's my little sandblast cabinet. Unfortunately, the tear off came off from the inside, so it has been blasted. This plexiglass has been blasted with sand, so you actually can't see through it anymore. I need to get a new glass for it, so that's very unfortunate. But I'll show you the parts as they go in and as they come out. And yeah, okay, I'm gonna get to work. All right guys, the first thing going into the sandblaster is this spring. See, it's pretty rusty. It's got some green paint on it. At some point it was green. Okay, going into the sandblaster. My buddy Addison, his dad gave me this back in Texas. I brought it out here, and I've used it before, but only a couple of times. Very glad to have this. All right guys, we got this one about 90%. I just can't see through the cabinet good enough to get the rest. I am gonna buy a new plexiglass for my deal here, but until then, it can wait. I'm just gonna go on to the next piece and just call that done for now. The next piece I need to scrub on a little bit with the wire brush and get some of that gross off there, because I don't want all that down in my sand. But yesterday it was real soggy wet. It was like all greasy, so I didn't get it anymore. But I'm gonna scrub on this for a minute and I'll show you before we throw it in there. All right, she's going in. This one I'm gonna start on this face, and I'm gonna go like a clock, so I think I'll be able to, maybe I'll start up here. I'll be able to keep track of where I'm doing it better. I don't know, we'll see. Can't see nothing really. All right, we got another 90%er coming out of here. Still see there's a bunch of some down there. Well, that side's pretty good. I just can't do any better without being able to see. These things have to be perfect. You have to get them completely clean before you before we powder coat them. So I will come back to this. Ooh, that side is really bad. I will come back to this. Let's move on to the next one. Another little 90%er. Front turned out pretty good. Good enough for now. I don't know if that big boy's gonna fit in there. We're gonna try this. That's the lower arm. Here's the upper arm. I'm gonna try to pull that rubber out of there real quick and throw it in there. Alright guys, pulling out another little 90%er. Got some crud down in there. I don't think this big boy's gonna fit in there. I probably need to do it in the other container. So that means I'm on to the passenger side now. Actually, that was the passenger side. I'm on to the driver's side now. See, we got that big tote right there. We can sandblast in it too. Dang, I forgot the other spring at the house though. Here's all this that needs to be done too. Well, I forgot the spring, but we can do the rest of this, I guess. Alright, next one going in. Alright guys, it's out. This is probably the worst one out of all of them. I missed a lot right there. There's a lot on the back too. But... Okay guys, next one's going in. Okay, this is maybe a 90 or 95%er. I really worked on that one. I think we're about 4 hours, 5 hours in right now. It's pretty slow going when you can't see what you're doing, but I've got to take a wire brush to this one for a few minutes, knock some of that grease off so it's not in my sand. Then I need to tape up this spindle, clean it up a little bit. Thank God that compressor went off. I forgot my other coil spring at the house, so still got to order the powder for the powder coating, so I'm not in a big rush. I just had to take advantage of having the day off and come knock a bunch of it out. All right, coming out. Another little 90%er. That one turned out pretty nice. There's just a couple of spots here and there, all in there. That almost makes me want to put it back in there, but I've got to do it again no matter what, so I'll just wait. This is the last part I have with me. It still has a ton of grease on, so I'm going to work on that for a couple minutes. Alright guys, this is the last one. It's a little 90%er too, but we'll call it for the night. The sun is setting over the mountains. We actually got quite a bit done through all of the frustration of not being able to see through the glass at all. You can only see in this little corner right here, but as soon as the dust starts flying in there, it all goes away. You can't see nothing. I know this wasn't the most riveting video, but I wanted to get something out. This was the first opportunity I've had to really make a video. Thank you guys for hanging with me. And yeah, hopefully we'll be on the shop soon. I'll bring you guys back whenever we do the powder coating on all this stuff. All right guys, we are done. We got it wrapped up. I would move the sandblaster over here with Russell's idea because I was just inhaling a lot of that glass bead is really what it is. It's not sand, but anyway, we set it up, blew it out the door. Probably saved my lungs a lot. Thank you always to Russell for helping me out and giving me a spot to work on my stuff, and I'm just really blessed. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry for the delay in videos. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.